Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 331. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And what is going on, sir? How are you?
There's too much going on.
There is a lot. There was a lot that kind of happened this week, admittedly.
Yes, there was. Personally, professionally, video
That's about
gamey, you know, you name it.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
What happens when it's 3 out of 3?
That's when you got to be careful and watch out.
That's when the universe implodes.
Because things are going too good at that point.
Yes.
So, but no, we're going to jump right into this because again, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But of course, as always, we'd like to start off in case one of us ends up going shopping, which ended up being me.
I was just going to say, it's always you.
So this is my most recent haul from Game On.
Okay.
And we'll kind of just show some stuff because I actually stumbled across a couple of games that I was like, oh, this is interesting. A lot of NES games. Of the 4 that I have here, 3 of them are NES.
All right. So
let's start with the Turbo Graphics.
Building that NES collection.
Well, please, I got to start building the Turbo collection. This one, which I was very happy to find. Just show this here. Fire Pro Wrestling 3 Legend Bout.
Very
PC
nice.
Engine.
I like that.
Yes. So
are you going to be able to play it though?
Yeah, the duo's compatible.
No, I mean the game's in Japanese.
Oh yeah, you can work your way through it.
You figure it out.
Problem. Yeah.
Okay.
And now you got me questioning that.
Well,
in any event,
I mean, you remember when we were all excited about Fire Pro Wrestling G for the PlayStation 1? And it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And we played it like twice and we're like, we can't figure out how to get through the menus.
Well, nowadays I can just hold my phone up to the TV screen and it'll live translate.
That's very true.
And eventually, hopefully, I'll just memorize everything.
Just ask Alexa. Alexa, translate my TV.
Imagine soon. I'm sure very soon.
Yeah, when they take over.
That's what the Apple Vision Pro is going to be.
Yeah. No, the Apple Vision Pro is going to be $3,500 in the trash.
Oh, I cannot wait for it.
You ordered it? You pre-ordered it?
No, you can't pre-order it yet, but I'm just excited for it to come out. It's not VR. It's spatial, whatever.
No, I know. So you're going to give them $3,500 so that you can put this visor on, and the visor is going to tell you stuff like, order from Grubhub. No,
basically, yeah. I'll just be sitting. It's one thing to have that if there's other people living in the house. Mm-hmm. But it's just me, so it's weird. If I just sit on my couch and I put the visor on and nothing, I feel
you saw Wall-E, right?
We're all, trust me. If the pandemic has shown us anything, we are heading straight for Wall-E. Yes. So we're good to go. Yeah. Another game I picked up on the NES. Not 100% sure if this is a ROM or not, but when I go to Game On, if I see a game that looks interesting, like I'll actually pull my phone up on YouTube and check out gameplay. Okay. So
plus they let you test it there too, so you can play it while you're there.
They do, but if there's like a few games, it's usually just quicker, just to at least see what the gameplay is like at first. And then yes, sometimes I'll go and test it, but sometimes it just looks good enough that I'm set. A game called Crisis Force. It's a vertical shooter, so it's right up my alley.
Yeah. Not surprising.
Yeah. Konami. It's a Konami game, so it's going to be good no matter what. Mm-hmm. So we got that going.
Cool. Very cool.
A game I'm shocked I haven't owned yet, and then it was just a matter of which version I wanted. I wanted the TurboGrafx version. Okay. I grabbed the Genesis version, but then I came across the NES version, the Tengen version of Clack.
Oh wow, Clax.
Great arcade game.
So why the Tengen version?
Because of the cart. Look at the cart.
You like the
it's
cart.
The Tengen cart. And I think I have 4 others. I do. I have Ms. Pac-Man, Alien Syndrome, and 2 Roadrunner.
Do you have the Tetris one?
No. I do not. What do I have? Wait, do I? Hold on. Alien Syndrome, Ms. Pac-Man. Oh no, Super Sprint. Super Sprint's the other one.
Super Sprint, yes.
I love Super Sprint. Clack's great game, so I was happy to pick that up.
Very cool.
And then a game that I came across that I thought the cover art was very like 80s action adventure. And then I looked at the back of the box and the variety of gameplay it's in this. It's a game called The Ultimate Stuntman. Yeah, very 80s, like, like in your face
it's
action.
Looks like Dolph Lundgren.
Well, it probably is.
Might be.
And then you look at the back of the box, and it's a variety of gameplay. You got almost like a shooter.
Yeah.
You got a puzzler. You got side scrolling.
So wait, is this like a homebrew?
No. It's not
a legit
homebrew
game.
Here's the thing. It's a legit game from Codemasters. Now,
Okay.
if you remember anything, Codemasters, they circumvented a lot, almost like what Tengen was doing.
Mm-hmm.
They circumvented like Nintendo. That's why there's no seal of approval on this box.
Mm-hmm.
And then I totally forgot that their carts look very weird. And this is what their cart is. It's a gold cartridge, shaped slightly differently, right? But on the back, there's a dip switch.
Oh.
And I didn't deep dive into this yet. All I know is that there's A and B, and all it says is position A, and then position B, only use this position if the game does not work in position A. So I was like, okay.
Wow. Okay.
But it works in position A.
Very nice.
So it's an odd looking cart and everything, but it plays smoothly. And it's just, kind of cool to have. It's a non, I guess you could say a non-licensed, but I would just say like a non-certified NES game.
Right.
So,
no stamp of approval for that one.
No, none. Nope.
Right.
Codemasters, they were slick.
Shame on them.
And that's basically what I got. So nice little haul. And
very nice. I went the route of not purchasing anything this week.
Good for you.
But I feel like that's kind of the norm for me.
Did I do that wrong?
Or at least with retro. I think last week I picked up last week I had picked up a couple of games off of the PlayStation Days of Play sale.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was going on. So I picked up the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Oh, very good.
Because that was on sale, and I picked up a game called 12 Minutes.
Okay.
Which it's one of those interactive game video interactive games with with James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's like you're caught, it's like a top-down view, and you're caught in a 12-minute loop with a couple in their apartment where like one of them dies and the other one gets arrested, and you have to keep like making choices to change what happens in the loop in hopes of breaking the loop.
I'm liking I have two of those games right now. I See Red, which actually looks like it was made in Russia.
Yep.
And then let's see, I always keep forgetting the other one. It stars Katie from Letterkenny.
I don't know.
Begins with a C. I can't remember the name. But
Control?
No, not Control.
Because there's Control is one. Like I have Control, which I have to play.
No, I haven't tried that. I've always wanted the
Until Dawn was the first one that I really enjoyed with Hayden Panettiere.
Oh yeah,
that was the horror movie one.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah,
and then I'm always staring at.
Yeah, and then The Quarry I have to pick up with David Arquette.
Oh no! I'm all right. I know what you're talking about. Yes, great game. But I'm talking about like the full motion, like it's a movie that's playing out, like a live action film.
Oh yeah, I think that's. I thought that was Control. Wasn't Control a live action?
I'll search it up. But I think it's easier to go to IMDb.
Right.
But no, those games are just really cool, and it was funny too because when I was playing.
Oh no, that's not. That's
of
not,
the title I can't think of. With the girl from Letterkenny, which on a side note, fantastic show. I started playing it when the pandemic started. Nothing else happening.
Yeah.
And the game is basically about like this virus that is getting ready to get unleashed on the world.
Oh.
And you're trying to stop it from getting out.
So you were getting a little extra meta with your gaming?
My timing was terrible.
I assume you did not finish it.
No, I finished through it. But what's fun about those games is to really unlock everything, you got to go back and replay it, but make different decisions.
And make different choices. Yep.
So all right, let me ask you this. So when you play those games, especially maybe the first go around, are you actually like trying to make like proper decisions, or are you kind of almost on a whim just selecting something to move the game forward? Not to rush through it. It's more just it's branching, it's branching.
I always try and make proper decisions. Like, I'm like, which one will get me to the definitive ending?
Okay.
And that's what I try to do. When I go back around, that's what I'm like, okay, let me make bad decisions.
Gotcha. The Complex. It's called The Complex.
The Complex. Okay.
Yes. Fantastic game.
All right.
So,
Cool.
all right. Very genre type of games.
All right.
So, very, very cool. And I purchased some other games to get into a little bit because it has something to do with what we're going to talk about in a moment. But yeah, no, very happy with my collection that I got here. And yeah, so that's pretty much about it on my purchases for this week. Now I just got to find more room. I just redid the shelving behind me. Now I got to find more room.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to find more room because you didn't just do purchasing this week. You did some pre-ordering too, thanks to a certain something that popped up on the internet. So we had Nintendo Direct last week, and you were way too happy about what they announced.
I took an early lunch to watch this. Thankfully, I was working from home, and it went live at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I was like really early lunch. Yeah,
I was like, that's not so much of a lunch as it is like your morning break.
And I still didn't eat anything, so
because it was 10 a.m.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, Nintendo Direct, and we're not going to go through every game on there. We're going to hit the big ones. But I got to say this, as much as between the three, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, with all their directs, we'll call them for lack of a better term. Right off the bat, I'll say I think Nintendo's was the best of the three. Not only just my own opinion because I like the games better. I just love the presentation of Nintendo Direct, just how they do it.
Well, no, I mean, I like their presentation too, to be honest with you. Microsoft always seems a bit
they're just like, like
sterile. Sterile, I guess is the word I want to use. It's So, and I know that they also didn't have a lot to announce. So, or at least
Microsoft?
Yeah, didn't they because they just did one, didn't they?
No, well, they did, but they announced a lot. But again, it wasn't, every time I watched,
nothing was jumping out at me.
Neither, same with me. These are our personal opinions. I'm not saying these games are terrible. It just, other than like an update to Flight Simulator, and which now you can drive like hot air balloons, and maybe like
and slow.
And maybe one other game, which I can't even remember. Just I sit there and I'm like, I think I've gotten now too old for these games. Like we've talked about it in the past.
Yes.
But Nintendo still hits us. But as much as Nintendo Direct was fantastic this past week, it kind of goes to show, we've talked about this in the past, Nintendo are the kings of repackaging old games and all of us repurchasing these games.
Yeah.
With shiny new paint.
For those of us who owned a Wii U, we basically rebought the entire collection on Switch.
100%. And I'm close to doing it again. So let's get into it. We're going to jump around here. So nothing, I think me and you know what the heavy hitters games are. But what other than those like major like first party games, what are some games that jumped out to you just in general?
Oh, okay. Well, aside from the first party ones, I'll go with I'll go with the third parties. Gloomhaven coming to the Switch was a nice surprise for me. And I know you had a big question mark on that because you didn't know what Gloomhaven was.
Yeah, it was more just, I mean, I watched it. It looks interesting, but it's based on a board game, you said, right?
Yeah, it's based on a board game. It's a fantasy-based board game, but it's an incredibly expensive board game. You can pick when it's not on sale, I think it averages like around $150 for the game.
Wow.
And then there are, and then I think there were actual like expansions you can download or not download, you can buy.
Yeah.
So hi Snow. So yeah, somebody wants attention. So when I saw that they announced a video game, I'm like, okay, great. I go, that'll save me a ton of money from buying the board. As much as I love board games, I'm like, that's one of the ones where I haven't justified spending the money on it.
Gotcha.
And now I'm happy I did because I'll buy the board game from it. So that one jumped out at me right away. I was like, okay, cool. That one's exciting. I'm just looking at the list really quickly.
Yeah, no problem.
It was interesting to see Pikmin 1 and 2 making a comeback.
I'm sorry, which?
Pikmin 1 and 2.
Yes, no, totally.
Basically the, like Lemmings, which is where I go all the way back to.
No, you're right.
So Pikmin was a nice surprise. The You had pointed out this game to me, which I'm sure you're as excited about too. Myth Force.
Oh my God. They sold me at when they go, it's a throwback to Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like.
It's like, you know, that animated look, almost cell shading. I don't even know if we can call it that anymore. I don't know if there's like a new term for it, but it looks gorgeous. And yes, it feels like watching these like over the top sci-fi, like Dungeons and Dragons, or like these other sci-fi Saturday morning cartoons. It's a first person view, if I remember it correctly. Up to 4 players can play, I believe, online. And you can jump in and out of co-op, which is awesome.
Which is great.
Yeah, so this one I don't know if it's coming out on anything else as of right now. These games we're assuming, you know, obviously they're all on Switch. We don't know if they're going to be coming out on other systems. Obviously, we know which ones aren't going to be coming out on other systems. But yes, Myth Quest is just going to be phenomenal.
Myth Force,
excuse me. Myth Force is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And then what was the other one? Oh, if you haven't bought the Batman Arkham games on every system, since they first started coming out, you can get all of them on the Switch.
3 of them.
Yep.
And already
those games are really good.
No, they were good. I think funny enough, I think I own both a physical and a digital copy of the first one. Arkham City, I think the first one was.
No, Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum, excuse me. And already people are complaining because apparently the physical copy of Arkham Trilogy is only gonna have 1 game on the cart, where the other 2 are downloaded.
Oh.
So
that stinks.
And it is what it is. So,
but it's also Switch.
Yeah, exactly. No, some great games. If I can jump in here, the one I'm really looking forward to, as far as again third party, we got a little more information through Nintendo about Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which again is going to have Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, the original Metal Gear, and Snake's Revenge, or Metal Gear 2, I should say, from the MSX. And I don't know if it's a Nintendo exclusive. It doesn't look like it is, but it would be cool if it was. The NES versions of Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge.
Yes, I'm looking forward to playing those more. I was not a big fan of Metal Gear Solid.
Neither was I.
Yeah, I played it, and I never beat it. I got all the way
got near it.
No, I got close to the end when you go up against Solid Snake, Shadow Snake, whatever.
I forget who the
whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I got pretty far in the game, and then I just kind of I was like, you know what? I'm not enjoying this that much.
I played more. I actually owned VR missions. Those found fun because those just straightforward things. But and what's funny is, after the direct dropped, you were able to pre-order a lot of these. And I'm talking the eShop version. I'm talking eShop, Nintendo eShop. And the way Metal Gear Solid was broken down, I don't know if it was an error on someone's part, but you can either buy the entire collection or you could buy the games individually. I'm talking like Metal Gear Solid individually, Metal Gear Solid 2 individually. And then they had just for the MSX games, and then like just for the NES games. But when I clicked on them, you couldn't pre-order them. So again, I don't know if that was like an error on someone's part, because I'm not going to lie, if they sell them like that, I'm just going to buy the NES versions.
Yeah.
So, but that's me.
I might do the same, or I may just,
I have a feeling it's just going to be a whole collection to get the MSX.
Snow's not
and the
interested.
NES versions. No, not at all.
No, she's not. She's going back to mine now.
Let's see what else kind of stuck out for me.
WarioWare, I think was a big one.
Well, that's first party.
Oh, first party. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say Palia. It's like this, it's almost
farming simulation. I gave that up when I gave up was it Farmville that was on Facebook?
I wouldn't call it as much as a farm simulation as I would call it as a life simulation.
But
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. But it's got, listen, the virtual one's got to be better.
It's like my life. My life is a pain as it is. I don't need to do. I don't need. I get when I. This is the whole Sims thing all over again. One day I played Sims like crazy for like a year, and then one day it just dawned on me. I go, I am wasting my time in my life creating a better life for somebody in a video game. I go, and that's literally all that I'm doing. Okay, I'm done.
But again, it's to me, it's more than just the farming sim. I mean, there was another farming sim that they had, but the Paleo, first of all, it's free to play, which is always good. But what's cool about it is you make like your own like home and town, and you can visit other towns. Again, it's almost like a second life. And I don't know, it just looked cool. If it's free to play, it just seems like one of those like time killers we've talked about in the past.
Yeah,
the games that just kill time.
Yes.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
All right, that's cool.
And then as now we're starting to get into heavier games, at least for me personally, Sonic Superstars.
Yes.
And this was announced previously, but it's going to be like a new 2D Sonic game, but it's got like like 3D look to it.
Yeah.
And they announced, I forgot, did they announce here? Or they might announce. No, they announced this part for Sonic. They had a Sonic Direct from Sega for Sonic's birthday, which just passed. Sega, which just passed a couple of days ago. There's a great dorkly video of like them trying to record that, and it's outtakes.
Oh,
and
nice.
like Sonic is because Sonic zips by and he's getting mad because the guy keeps messing up the name.
Nice.
Sonic Superstars. I think if you pre-order it, there's Lego Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be in the game.
Oh, that's really cool.
With Lego Eggman, so that looks interesting. But it's a Sonic game, so it's a 2D Sonic game. Yes. You can't go wrong.
Which should be fun.
Yes. So for me, as far as again third-party games, and I know we haven't mentioned all of them, but for me, those were the big ones.
Okay.
So I think now at this point we can get into the first party. And we can get right into it. And I'm going to try and go in no particular order.
Okay.
Well, first of all, just to throw it out there, me and Anthony are not huge Pokemon players.
We're not.
But they did announce next coming DLC, the what they call it, the something Area Zero. I forgot the full name of it.
Oh, okay.
But it's gonna be DLC.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the hidden treasure of Area Zero.
Thank you.
There you go.
So there, Anthony being prepared.
That's me.
WarioWare, move it. I like to move it. Better name than WarioWare Shake It. That was on the Wii and the Wii U.
Oh,
which led life very weird. But I love the WarioWare series. It's those.
Yeah, you've been a big fan of those.
Oh my god!
Obviously, I've never really played them because, again, I don't play handheld, and they were pretty much handheld games.
They started on the Game Boy Advance, you're right, but then they did make their way to. There might have been one on GameCube. There's definitely one on Wii, but I mean, they eventually made their way to the consoles. And this one looks really cool because this one looks like it really takes advantage of the Joy-Cons. Okay. And like to use you got to try to dry your back with a towel, so you got to make the motion. I mean, with both Joy-Cons. And I believe someone's going to correct me. I know, but this might be one of the first. Totally. One of the first multiplayer WarioWare games.
Ooh,
yes, okay. So very, very interesting on that.
That could be fun.
Totally. They showed some. I don't have the information in front of me. 3 new drivers and a brand new course for the Mario Kart Deluxe.
Oh, for Mario Kart. Yeah. So they added PD Piranha.
Yep.
Wiggler.
Yep.
And Kamek.
There we go.
I'm happy about Kamek. I will use him.
And the new brand new track. Not pulled from Italy. There is a brand new track. I forgot what they call it. I think it had a food. No. You know what it was? It had a almost had like a Mario Kart, like the physical Mario Kart that they came out with, the real one. Mm-hmm. That's what you're driving around like a home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I forgot what they call it. It looks really cool. No date when that's going to drop, but that'll be dropping soon. And I believe that's course 5.
Wave 5. Yes.
Wave 5. Excuse me. Yes.
So there's only one more wave after that, right?
I believe 6, right? Yep. I think they'll do 6 of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, look, they squeezed a lot out of that game.
So yes, they did.
Can't even imagine what a 9 would look like.
At this point, I think they're just going to keep updating 8.
You mentioned before Pikmin 1 and 2. Yes, they HD remakes or of Pikmin 1 and 2 because they gave some more information on Pikmin 4.
Yes.
Apparently there's like a night mode now in the game. And so again, this was more gameplay of Pikmin.
Yeah. Is it sad that it makes me just want to go back and buy Lemmings for my PC?
No, not really, because Lemmings was an awesome game.
I love Lemmings.
But unlike Lemmings, this has a very Lemmings-like game to it. But in Lemmings, you didn't. Oh yeah, you did use some Lemmings to like blow up to open up an area.
Oh yeah, you totally did.
Here, you're commanding the Pikmin to fight for you.
Yes.
And you sacrifice some, I think.
Yes. Go destroy. Kill yourself.
And now because of Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Switch, now all 4 games are available on the Switch because 3 also came out. And I tried a demo of there. I never really played Pikmin, but I really enjoyed the demo of Pikmin 3. So I might pull the trigger on Pikmin 1 and 2. You know, if you buy them together, it's a little cheaper. They are selling them individually.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So
I think I have a Pikmin game when I bought the PS3 from Game On. I think they gave me a Pikmin
no.
game. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, Pikmin's only Nintendo.
Oh, Pikmin's only
Pikmin,
Nintendo.
Pikmin is Nintendo.
Then what is the game I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
I thought it was it was like a Pikmin-like game. Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of Little Big Planet. Never mind.
Okay, gotcha.
Totally wrong.
So Pikmin's are good. We are getting a sequel finally to Detective Pikachu, properly titled Detective Pikachu Returns.
Detective Pikachu 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Well, that's gonna be the title of the movie if they do a movie.
Yes. Always.
Yes. And then the 2. I mean, there's like 2 others, but they just announced. Well, let's talk about those.
The 3.
No,
there's 3 there are 3 big ones.
Okay.
Or at least I think 3 big ones.
Oh no. Yeah.
The one that's not big to me, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon from the 3DS is getting a remake and will be on the Switch. So
which is cool.
That's cool because I have the GameCube one.
There you go.
I now have Luigi's Mansion 3, which I haven't played because I still have to beat the first one. And now I don't have to get Dark Moon for the 3DS. I can just get it for the Switch.
No, true. And Dark Moon was a fun game. I do have it on 3DS.
Nice.
Very fun game to play. So yeah, they didn't go into full details other than just it's going to be obviously a graphical upgrade to Dark Moon. Very cool. The other just quick announcement they made, though, I thought was pretty cool, is Princess Peach is getting her own game on the Switch in 2024.
Well, to me, that's a very big deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put that as like one of the big news items.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought your Dark Moon one was. Okay.
No. Peach to me is a big moment for Nintendo because she's never had her own game.
She did, but I don't think it was really advertised as much. She had a game on the DS.
Yes, so we don't count
Super Princess Peach.
Yeah, and we don't count that. So she's getting her own game on a major console
on the Switch,
not a handheld, on the Switch, which is great considering she's only been around for 37 years or something like that.
She doesn't look a day over 20 something.
Yeah, well that's all the the wrinkle cream and stuff like that. So.
So again, no full information given. I'm not 100% sure what type of game it's going to be, but it will be starring Princess Peach, and again, that will be coming out in 2024.
I'm really hoping they're giving her a platformer.
Me too. It kind of looks like a platformer.
Yeah, I think it'll be a platformer. I think it'll be a platformer. So
all right, let's talk about the 2 that are big news, and you can start with whichever one you want.
All right, I'll start with Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Yes,
which is a 2D platformer, new 2D platformer Mario game coming out. And not only is it coming out, it's coming out this October.
Yes, cannot wait.
This year. So that was a nice surprise.
So when the rumblings of the Nintendo Direct was coming out, obviously all the rumors were, a new 2D Super Mario Brothers game, Super Mario Brothers game. And yes, we did get a new 2D Super Mario Brothers game.
Yes.
The game, very interesting title, Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Yes.
Definitely it's a new take in the series. A lot of people worried it was gonna be like another new Super Mario Brothers in that series, which all those games rock, don't get me wrong. But this one looks like it's almost kind of going back, even though it's 4-player.
Yep.
But it's kind of going back to roots. Graphically, it looks gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
And, when there were rumors of a 2D game, it was funny when I was sitting there just thinking, well, me personally, I would love to get like an 8 or a 16-bit brand new Super Mario Brothers game, right? But at the same time, it's 2023. You have to keep advancing. And, the way this looks and the way it sounds, I'm cool with it. Like, I don't need another 8 or 16-bit. Very psychedelic. I'm curious.
It does.
Yeah,
me too. And my personal favorite, obviously, is the new costume Mario gets in the game. We're gonna get Elephant Mario.
Finally, I can feel justified. I can feel like I'm in the game. It's about time.
You've always been in the game since Wario came out.
How dare you, sir? Accurate. Rude but accurate. Yes, they first of all, they show the video of Wonder, and it starts off with these singing there's these singing flowers or talking flowers.
Yes.
Which we don't know how much they play into it yet. And then you get Mario, you hear the footsteps, that's iconic. And here comes Mario. And then it's showing a platformer. Very cool. Then this new, what's called the Wonder Flower appears on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then he touches the Wonder Flower. And that's when things legitimately get psychedelic. Like it's almost like he's tripping out. He goes into this world. The pipes are moving. There's I'm sure he can taste colors. It's very weird. Again,
I hope I can taste colors when I play it.
I don't know how much they really didn't go into like the gameplay aspect of all this, but it just looks very weird. Hence the term wonder. But again, it's Super Mario Brothers. You really can't go wrong with a 2D Super Mario Brothers.
No, but it does seem like some people at Nintendo were tripping acid and decided
100%.
They were, oh my god, this is the next big thing. So
yes, and then the Elephant Mario, which is definitely new. Looks very interesting. And of course, the rumors, as always, the internet fails to if the internet has not shown how social media can be an absolute just like bottom of the barrel sometimes, especially if you're trying to watch, trying to go down to the Titanic, because it was, I mean, just the memes were vicious.
Yes, they were.
And people were already like trying to find the negatives in Wonder. And one of them was, now the big question is Charles Martinet playing Mario? Not like Chris Pratt's playing Mario.
I know, of course he is. Why wouldn't he?
He's still around. He's still viable and able to play Mario.
And he's still the voice of Mario.
Exactly.
Period.
So that was very interesting. Like, no one can leave it alone. Just let the game be.
Well, they also need to realize something. Nintendo didn't make the movie. Illumination did, right?
Yeah.
Illumination Entertainment made the movie. They were going to use A-list actors for the movie. Period. Nintendo's not going to spend the money to hire an A-list actor to do the voice of Mario in a Mario game.
No.
So,
well, they weren't even saying A-list. They were just saying someone different.
Well, no, that's not going to happen.
I agree. So, all right. So Super Mario Wonder, yes, coming out this October.
Yes.
I already have mine pre-ordered because and I have mine digitally pre-ordered because I took advantage of the ticket system that they have.
Yep.
Where you buy, like, for $100, you can get 2 select games.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to take advantage of that too. But
really?
Well, not theirs.
Okay.
I'm going to do the Walmart special of Walmart sells everything $10 less than every other store.
They do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess it comes out the same way then.
So
yes, you're right.
So I'm just going to go to Walmart.
Except unless Tears of the Kingdom is part of that, because as usual, Tears of the Kingdom has to throw everything off.
Yes, it does. But you know what? It's well worth it because all those 10 out of 10s, one of the best games ever made. Again.
So
put that in your pot and cook it.
So Nintendo announced a remake, HD versions of Pikmin 1 and 2. They announced a HD version or Switch version of Dark Moon. But the biggest news is on a straight remake.
Yep.
But again, it was the second game of the pre-order that I did. And finally it's back. And all its glory and then some.
Yes.
Super Mario.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Super Mario RPG is back. It's coming back.
Yes.
Did they give it announced the release date? I don't remember.
I don't know if they announced.
I feel like it's this year though.
November 17th.
I was gonna say probably shortly after. All right, so a month after
November 17th. And you know what makes me happiest about this?
Because it's right around your birthday.
Well, there's that, yes. But also my boy Gino is coming back.
That's the biggest thing. Yes.
Gino, who never appeared in like anything else as a playable character, is coming back. Malo, but Gino,
who's a frog.
Yes. Gino. I don't know why he's never come up in anything. There was some licensing issue with Capcom about it, but
Square.
Sorry, Square.
Yeah. Square at the time.
Yeah, this to me, for me personally, was the best news to come out of the Direct because I loved this game and I played it. I think right after I played Final Fantasy VII. I did not.
Wow.
Oh no, wait. Or did it? Did it
Back to
predate
back
that?
RPGs? Good Lord.
I didn't. It might have. Well, no. The game came out, I think, before Final Fantasy VII. But did
Probably
it? I'm wondering
did.
if I played it. No, then I played it before. Anyway,
Okay.
loved this game, start to finish. Super fun. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When they started announcing it, like I didn't realize what it was at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put two and two together. And admittedly, the first thing I thought of was you because I'm like, I know he's not watching right now,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to love this announcement. And at first, I thought it was going to be a new game, like a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously they showed more, and it's just an H like what they did with Link's Awakening. It's
Yes.
just a Switch upgrade to an amazing game. So really, there's going to be, for the most part, nothing new. There'll probably be some tweaks and maybe some little gameplay difference
Yeah.
or something. But for the most part, and look, again, it's shining up an already amazing game.
Yes.
So it's
This
going
was
to
a
be
no-brainer.
no,
It was a no-brainer.
totally. Weird enough, they left out the subtitle. So it's just called Super Mario RPG.
Okay.
And I don't know if you notice the box art.
I did notice the characters and the way that they look. Yes.
Okay, yes. So there's the box art for this game. I mean, I'm sure unless it changes later, is basically pulled from the Super Famicom edition
Yes.
of Super Mario RPG. It's just a plain white background with just the characters lined up. So it looks very cool. Everyone's very tiny.
Yes.
Like a tiny Princess Peach has looked weird.
Yeah, they do. They do look a little funny, but it's great.
And this game, just to talk about the magnitude of this, and like you said before, it was, I don't know if it was whether it was licensing hell or just whatever it was. This was a combination of Nintendo and Square at the time. Now it's Square Enix. So yes, the problem with re-releasing the game would have been because of these original characters, Malo, Gino. Even though the game was on the Super NES Classic, and it was available on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console, for some reason, just never really got a proper re-release. I mean, right. I guess on the Mini you can say it was, but it never got a true proper re-release. So it's very cool that they were able to finally do this because it's a game I have not touched since it originally came out, and I've been itching to play it again. I just never have.
Yeah, I started playing it again, I think on the Mini.
Okay.
I didn't get too far into it though. But even just playing what I did on it, like maybe a couple of hours, it was just like, it just reminded me of how much fun that game is.
And in a way where when Link's Awakening came out, like I played Link's Awakening on Game Boy, so when the remake came out on Switch, like when I compared it, I was like, this is a proper remake. It's worth playing through it again. And I kind of like when the game comes out, I kind of want to get your opinion on the difference. Because again, you being the major, I loved it, but you being the major fan of this game originally versus now playing the remake or remastered, I guess you can call it. Even though the way Nintendo spins these, it does feel like almost like a brand new game, even though it's a fresh coat of paint.
Yes. No, true. I mean, but you know what? It's a formula that works for them.
But now, true. And like I said in the beginning, Nintendo has perfected the ability for us to buy this game and others over and over and over.
Well, they've done it that way for us, but they've also made a game available that a lot of gamers today never played.
And that's the part when I'm watching the direct, right? And they announced I'm like, sweet, I'm in. And then that's when I thought to myself, oh, we've talked about this, like Nintendo being Nintendo, they just they're repackaging stuff. But then that's when the first time like you just said, I thought, but this game came out. How old is this game now? Roughly 20 something, 30 years old,
27 years old. It came out in 96,
almost 30 years old. And there's definitely a generation who have not played this game. So this is
exactly
and I feel like with like gaming is starting to come around on that, where it's like, oh, it's not just they're lazy and they're putting out Metroid Prime remastered. You know what I mean? I already have that on GameCube. Well, yeah, we're in our late 30s, early 40s. Of course, you probably have it. Yes. But there's a generation who never played it. So now I think people are starting to realize, okay, we can play it again, and there's a bunch of people going to play it for the first time. So, Yeah, and with that was really, in our opinions, the major parts of Nintendo Direct. So
Yep.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I think this Direct was the best of the three, meaning Sony and Microsoft. And just now I just got to wait till October and November, which kind of stinks because when you do that, it just rushes time.
Yes.
So, but for now, I'll find other things to play.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you have enough games to play. You just bought 4 this weekend.
I did.
You're probably going to buy 4 more today.
Shush. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, all right. So, are we ready to move on?
Let's do it because we're actually already backed up on this part. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, we are going to transfer over to our game of the week. And when we say game of the week this time, we're actually talking about 2 games of the week because Larry would not shut up last week about all of his third-party consoles that he blew money on, some of which he threw out. We didn't get a chance to talk about last week's game of the week.
Well, we didn't, and yes, there was a lot to talk about last week. It was a great topic, a lot of good feedback from people. I don't think anyone's purchasing anything, but they enjoyed it. Yep. But yes, so let's get into first what would have been last week's game of the week,
which was my game.
Yes.
So I had chosen the super awesome, or should I say excellent, Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure, based on the movie. And as we all know, video games based on movies are always great, no flaws, perfect as they are. Worth buying, especially when made by LJN.
Oof.
So, Larry, since I picked the game, I want your reaction first.
All right. It stinks. That's my reaction. That's my summed up of the game, honestly. The only way I figured out how to play this game is I had to go back and watch an AVGN episode of when he reviewed this game. And it was really the only way I figured out how to play. Now, funny enough, I did try, legit tried playing through it.
Yep.
But the standard, just the movement, getting stuck, having to jump into everything. It just bogs down the gameplay. Don't even get me started on the time circuits. With dialing and stuff.
Yes.
Don't even get me started on that. That's a whole different topic. But it wasn't until I tried it one last time when I tried to really give it a serious effort. And I almost started to be able to play the game. I started talking to people. I was able finally to go into buildings I never did before. And I was like I was collecting stuff. I didn't get far. Trust me, I didn't play that long because then the jumping aspect popped in again. I got annoyed.
Yes.
But I started actually playing the game, but I didn't get anywhere into it. Okay. Did you even get far into it? Did you?
So what I did was I tried playing it just straight up. Let me start it. I love I will say this. I'm gonna give it props for one thing.
Okay.
One thing. Just the opening cutscene. I thought was the opening cutscene was really cool. Ted shows up. I don't know if Bill or Ted shows up first. I think Ted does.
I think Ted does, yeah.
Ted shows up first. He meets Rufus. Rufus tells him there's a whole bunch of stuff messed up in the timeline. get every historical figure back to their time. Otherwise, Wild Stallions won't be able to have their super awesome concert and save the world. A great little opening cutscene. Ted goes off. Bill comes in. And then you get more information when Rufus talks to Bill. Loved all of that. That was great. And then you get to the gameplay that Larry talked about. So what I did was I tried playing it straight up first.
Okay.
Right? And then it didn't take me long to realize how awful the game was. Right? It just reminded me. I was like, oh yeah, this game is really bad. So then what I did was, I was like, because I always want to record enough footage so we can show it now for Game of the Week. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go online. I'm going to go find a walkthrough to kind of help me along with the game. So I did that. And my goal was just to do that to get through one level. So I did that. I found Marilyn Monroe. I gave her rose.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That got her back to her time. And then moved on to level 2. And that's when I stopped because I couldn't do it anymore. But even with a walkthrough, which basically mapped out the whole board for you and pointed to the sections where you're supposed to find the items, because you can find 4 historical items per board, and then you just have to give
The right
historical
one.
figure the right
Yeah.
one. But just where they are, it's like trying to figure that out is confusing as hell because you don't have a map.
No, and I think it's random anyway. I think they constantly move where they are.
No. They actually have specific.
I thought they. Oh,
the character moves to different.
Oh, okay.
But the items are still in the same 4 spots
Gotcha.
on the board. But even when you find out where they are, like again, all they needed to do, like honestly, to make this game so much less heinous, as Bill and Ted would say.
Oh, I like it.
Right. All they needed to do was give you the option to do a search, like a B button. Press B and you can search the spot and it'll just tell you there's nothing here or I found an item of some kind. No, you got to jump and crash onto things to reveal whether or not you found something. It's like literally all it needed to be. Press B, search.
I mean, just typical LJN.
Yeah, I mean, lazy. Lazy.
That's a good word. It was lazy.
It was lazy. And you know what it was? LJN was all about the quick buck. Because the Back to the Future game. Now, the Back to the Future game is probably one of the only LJN games I beat. Like I beat Back to the Future. But even still, with such a great movie like Back to the Future, the game is horrendous.
No, totally. I mean, I think the only LJN game I played beat was Jaws.
Jaws also, but also terrible game. And I did beat that one too. So I have beaten more than one LJN game. X-Men was another LJN game that is just disastrous. Disastrous. Like that one goes on my list of one of the worst games ever made.
Wow. Okay.
Period. But Bill and Ted also high on that list because there's no excuse for saying, oh yeah, kids are going to love playing this game where you spend the entire time jumping into bushes and trees and fences and landing on your ass in hopes that you'll find something there.
Yeah,
it's
that, weird.
And just that alone, like there's no reason to even like review anything else about the game. Like, you know, why they decided the entire game has to be at an angle. And you can't walk up, down, left, and right. You're pressing up and you're pressing up and you're walking northeast. You're pressing down and you're going southwest. It's just like that doesn't make any sense to me at all. That was
weird.
So many weird choices, so many bad choices. And for a movie, like a game based on a movie that, like, to be honest with you, would be a pretty straightforward game. Had you made a side-scrolling game where every level you're saving a historical figure, that's all you need. You can get 8, 9, 10 levels out of that, and you're done. And even if it was a simple game, been like, all right, that was a bit easy. It's like, yeah, but it's straightforward. I was like, yeah. Oh, no. To be the game designer on that game, I'm like, what did you guys do?
Well, I mean, so the terrible
the graphics were okay.
Graphics were nice. Graphics were very good. So the as much as a poor taste this game left in your mouth, let's kind of move on to a game that ended up kind of being a much better game, a much more fun game to play. And that would be the other, which would have been last week's game of the week, now this week's official game of the week, Altered Beast.
Yes. By the way, thank you for the audible on that one. I was happy you switched to Altered Beast, which, by the way, we celebrated its 35th retro birthday last week.
Yeah. Totally. For the arcade version. I ended up, and I kind of threw it out there. We said like any version you want to play. Like I have like the 3D version on the 3DS. Okay. And I originally, it's funny, I forgot what versions I have. I don't have it on Genesis originally. So I broke out the Sonic Ultimate game, like the Sonic Ultimate Collection.
Yes.
On the PS3.
Nice.
So started playing it on that. And then actually, on a side note, ended up unlocking Golden Axe Warrior because it was kind of easy to do. I'm like, let me do this. Nice. That's a separate game to talk about for a later time. That's Sega blatantly ripping off Zelda.
Yes.
But then I remember Alter Beast is also on the Nintendo Genesis online game.
Okay.
So that's where I played it. Bottom line, classic game, very straightforward on the Gen. We're talking about the Genesis version.
Yeah.
I when I say very straightforward, it's just you're going from left to right and you're destroying everything you can. You get those power-ups throughout the game that eventually morph you into whatever beast.
Power up.
Yes, right. Very, very in your almost double dribble like.
It's very
almost
deep.
double dribble like.
Yes.
And then I completely forgot until I started playing it how almost daunting the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way.
No, but it's an arcade game. It's meant to eat quarters.
Yep.
So it's meant to be difficult.
It was, because I did not beat this game. I got to the third level of 5, 6. How many levels? I feel 5. Okay.
5.
So third level of 5.
Well, actually, it depends on which game you play.
True. There's different versions. Again, this was the Genesis version.
The NES version had 7 levels.
The NES version. There was no NES version.
Yes, there was.
There was an NES version?
Yes. I'm sorry. They had 8 stages. They had 8 stages in the NES one.
Okay. Yep. I don't remember this coming out on Nintendo.
Well, because at that point we had already moved on to 16-bit.
No, true. And I believe you, don't get me wrong. I just don't remember that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Surprise.
Well, in any event. So this was the 5-level game. And it took me 4 or 5 tries to get past even the first level boss.
Wow.
Okay. It was very difficult because the faces that come down at you.
Yes.
I couldn't figure out the pattern until, there's really not much of a pattern, but strategy.
Yeah. Like you kind of had to move to the one spot that was empty.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then finally, when I figured that out, then I was like, all right, now we're good to go.
Yeah.
And then I also forgot there's different beasts per level.
Yes. That part I always remember. That was awesome.
So, but yeah, overall, it's just such a classic game. Really not much else to say about it. It's just funny enough, the arcade version was released on the Arcade Archive for the Switch and the PS4, PS5. Nice. But your thoughts on the gameplay? How far did you get?
I beat it. I beat it, but I didn't beat it traditionally.
Oh, what?
Well,
you got a Game Genie?
No, you just needed to go to the hidden menu screen. So if I think it was like you had to hold B and press start or something like that.
Okay.
And what it did was on that menu screen, it gave you a stage select. It asked you how many, because you know how you have 3 bars of health?
Yep.
You can up it to 5. And then you can up your number of lives to 5. So what I did was, because again, I really just wanted to get through it. I played it through. I played it through the regular way, and I made it to the 3rd level, and that's where I crapped out.
Yeah.
Then I started using the stage select and all that stuff just to finish the game.
And you know what? The menu's in game, so I'll allow it. That's not cheating.
Yeah, it wasn't a Game Genie. It was just a hidden menu in the game. So I did that, and I completed it, and like. This game I always remember enjoying playing, not only on the Genesis but the arcade version, because I remember my pizzeria for a while had Alter Beast.
Oh, did it?
The arcade.
Pronto?
Yeah, they did. Pronto. Yeah, Pronto had it.
Awesome.
So I used to play it there. I always thought the graphics were really cool. I loved how like the character, just the transition as the character powered up was really cool. The idea of being a different beast every level was just really appealing, because it wasn't because like you didn't get it wasn't like let's say, just for argument's sake, right? Mario 3.
Yeah.
You can you get the suits and you can be different characters, but then you could choose one and just be that one all the way through if you want to. This one, like, you were stuck with the beast that you had, and they each had their own individual powers.
Yes, that they did, yeah.
Which made it really fun, and the powers worked for each level based on what it was. And just overall, like, that to me, again, for a game that's 35 years old, it had enough variety to make me want to keep playing it, even though the game was short. It just had, for me, it had a lot of replay value. The story too, also for a video game, it was kind of a darker story.
It was, yeah.
And that's what I liked about it too, especially as a kid playing a game like that, where it's like, oh, this is kind of like if they made this into a movie, it would be kind of like a horror movie. And that's what I liked about it too.
And it was so dark or whatever, the way the story was, that the game used to be a packing game for the Genesis.
Yep.
But then later on, they switched it over to Sonic because they were really more concerned about, the themes of zombies and magic and everything like that for those in the Bible Belt. They wanted to sell systems there, and Sonic was a whole lot nicer than Altered Beast.
Yes, exactly. And also Sonic became their mascot.
Of course, 100%, of course.
But like all in all, like playing through Altered Beast again just reminded me of how much I enjoyed that game. Again, short game, simple game, a lot of fun. I also, before doing my research, I also did not know there was an NES game. And now that I know there's an NES game with 3 extra levels, I want it.
Because I just don't
want
this at all. I believe you, I just don't remember it. All right.
Yeah. And the NES game has 2 extra beasts in it that you become.
I guess it would be, right? Because if
you levels. Become I forget what one of them. You become a shark and a phoenix.
A shark, which means it's a swimming level,
which means it's a water level,
unless it's a walking shark, which would be kind of weird. So just to be specific, it's on the Famicom,
right?
Not the NES.
Again, that's what I mean. Like, that means I need either a trip to Japan, or I got to go online and look for a Famicom copy.
Yes.
So
all right,
and then I'll pop that in my Super Freak, and I'll play it.
Well, you'll listen to Super Freak when you pop it into your Retro Freak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put it in my Retro Freak. I'll play Super Freak.
Retro Freaky.
That's right.
All right. So, So cool. We had one tough game, but one very fun game. And
true.
That's you now. What do you got for?
It is my turn. Okay. So I was trying to figure out. I had wanted to switch up to another console. I was gonna go like, should I go to Sega CD? Should I go to, I don't know. Well, we just did a Genesis game. We did a couple NES games, I think.
Yep.
But something on the Super Nintendo caught my eye, and here's why. I was trying to find something to watch, because I watch the same sitcoms over and over again as like my mindless TV.
Me too. Yep.
So it's either Cheers or Friends or Frasier or Big Bang Theory. Literally, I just circle through them.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I need to go back and watch something else, something that I haven't seen since it first aired.
Okay.
So that it'll all feel new to me again. So I went on HBO Max, which I will never call Max. I will never call Max because it reminds me of Cinemax, and then it brings back memories of Skinemax, and there's a whole other thing going on there. So I went over to HBO Max. And I watched the first episode of Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, great series.
Wow, did I forget how good this show is.
That Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. Phenomenal.
Yeah. He will always be the voice of Batman to me, which I remember fondly, but I had forgotten just how good the show is. And I also forgot how many episodes really focused on just the crime in Gotham. Like, it's not just all about the Joker, the Riddler, the Penguin, like the mob bosses. Like there were episodes about the mob bosses and stuff like that. So like I fell hard back into that. I'm on episode like 24.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm on episode 24.
Remember for a while they aired them in prime time?
No, it was like a Sunday night show.
Yeah.
It got so popular. Yeah, I thought it was Sunday nights.
No. When it first came out, it was like Saturday morning or something like that.
Right, but they moved it.
Yes,
they moved it to prime time because of how well it was doing.
Sunday nights at like 7 or 7:30.
Yeah, which was fantastic. Yep. So anyway,
and real quick, just to mention, then we'll get into it because I think I know where you're going with this. That led to, in my opinion, like top 3 greatest animated movie of all time. Mask of the Phantasm. Phenomenal.
Fantastic. So anyway, so watching those. Also, the oddly Robin shows up in the series, but he just very randomly shows up in episode 19. Like they don't explain where he comes from. It's just episode 19. He's there.
Okay.
Like, all right, Robin's here. Unless I missed something. I don't know. Did I skip an episode?
Might be out of order. Yeah.
Maybe whatever it is. Anyway, so because of that, I want to go back and play The Adventures of Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo because that game was so awesome. And not only was it so awesome, it has the same look as the cartoon, as the animated series, and it actually borrowed the levels in the game borrow from some of the episodes from the show. Like,
Yep.
I literally watched the Joker episode with the whole roller coaster battle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That you basically have on the first level of that game.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So Adventures of Batman and Robin, I thought would be a good one for us to revisit.
And that's one of the best games, period. And again, we're talking the Super Nintendo version, not the Genesis
The
version.
Super Nintendo version
Nintendo.
specifically.
Awesome. All right. We're in. Folks, if you got nothing to do and you have a copy of it, pop in Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Super Nintendo. I like it. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Me too.
All right. And then the final, we don't have any news this week, but I thought this was very interesting. We'll just mention real quick.
Okay.
June 23rd in gaming history, apparently June 23rd is a very popular date for one reason or another. Between, and I'm sure there's a lot more, don't get me wrong, but this particular list, between 1991 and 2022, 16, I'll call them heavy hitters. Maybe not all of them are perfect, but big name titles have come out specifically on June 23rd. I'm just going to run through this real fast. We're not going to go through them, but I was going to run through. So here's what has happened between 1991 and 2022. Sonic the Hedgehog. The N64 came out in 96. Along with that was Super Mario 64.
Yep. That
Sonic
was Japan.
91.
I think that was Japan's release.
Again, we're just talking in general, though. June 23rd. 1999, Ape Escape. There we go.
Okay.
Deus Ex in 2000. Game I know you enjoy, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem in 02.
Oh, yes.
Advance Wars, Dual Strike in 05. Chibi Robo 05. Zelda Phantom Hourglass in 07. Alone in the Dark in 08. That was probably one of the newer versions. Fight Night Round 4 in 09. Great boxing series. Overlord 2 in 09. Pokemon Black and White version 2 came out in 12. 2015 Batman Arkham Knight.
Nice.
Which we're going to see again. 2016 Story of Seasons, Trio of Towns. And then just last year, just last year, 2022, Sonic Origins.
Yep.
And we just got the update on Sonic Origins too.
Well,
funny enough, on June 23rd. Wait a minute.
Yeah. And my theory for that, I have a theory.
I have a theory.
Yes, I have a theory. And I know where that's from. I have a theory that
episode.
It's either I have a theory that it's either completely random and coincidental, or it's companies trying to take advantage of the of kids getting out of school. Because usually end of June is when summer starts for a lot of kids. I know, granted, around the country it's earlier.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is during summer break, you want a good game to play. Hey, here's a new one.
Quite possibly. I mean, it's a very good idea. I mean, with Sonic, that June 23rd is his birthday.
Well, that's his birthday, so that just
stuff.
makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. Which, side note, I downloaded the DLC, the extra content for Sonic Origins, so now it's Sonic Origins Plus. 12? No, I think more than 12 Game Gear games, and they are perfect versions of those Game Gear games. Sonic Game Gear games. Oh my god, it's amazing, worth it. If you already have the game, it's like $10 to download the additional stuff. If you don't have the game, I forgot how much it is, but the full package is available.
Okay.
So June 23rd, very interesting date. Besides for Sonic, it's really Sonic's birthday, but some good games that came out on that date. And with that, I think we'll finally wrap it up this week.
Nice.
Because I'm hungry.
Me too.
Where can they find us?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram @RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter @RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube @RetroGamersPodcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
And also, don't forget, we're going to be talking more about it as we get closer to it, but we are under 2 months away from the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo.
And we will both be there.
We will absolutely both be there. So, again, we'll talk about it more as we get closer, but you can buy, I think you can get your tickets now, but you can check it out, liretro.com.
Nice.
And have a good week.
You have a good week as well.
And we will catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.